That cheddar. Boom. Eight oh three. Let's ready this up. This two, at least. They're gonna come late. They're gonna come late at this point. We're looking at 5 after now. We are live. Cue it up. There we go. Hey, it updated the YouTube title properly. Yay. Ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to qualifying for the United States Grand Prix for the Prospects eRacing League, Season 4 of America's Tier 1. We are in Round 5. Exciting season so far that has been fairly dominated by TTG Passassin. Had quite a push from the likes of PRL Optic and Cameron. Exciting race last week in Brazil, one of the best esports races that I've ever seen. The way the strategy pulled out and the wheel-to-wheel racing, not much like it. So here we are for round 5 in Austin. So we have somebody taking the track. A couple people taking the track. Doing short qualifying today, 1 round. Camera type. I am going through and getting this thing set. Optic is the first out. Just under now 17 minutes to get in some times here. They get it set. 13 competitors today. It's been a very exciting season at this point in time. Austin was brought into the fold back in 2012 for the United States Grand Prix. Has a long history of various tracks and exciting racing, and also the complete and utter down point of the sport of Formula One with Indianapolis back in 2005, where everybody pitted because the Firestone tires were dangerous. So Austin has had nothing but very good hype, has been very successful racing, and next year we will see another United States Grand Prix in the same calendar year with Miami. And Optic goes around. It's just qualifying the first lap, the out lap. Got to get it down. Got Palmer this week in the McLaren. Not seen his name pop up recently, so looking to make an impact. Had very consistent racing this year from the likes of David Boyer, Alex D04, Pulowski, Rafael, Tintoretto, and Ingram is Beast. Kind of more of the mid-pack, but they've been very competitive, including an opportunity for one of them to win earlier in the season. And it worked out their way in such an insane race at that point in time. Got yellow in Sector 3. Go back to Optic here as you see Austin in the background. Such a distinct and purposefully designed track for Formula One. As an oil conglomerate about 15 years ago wanted to put a track here, and it finally happened. It's been so successful here that we're having 2 races in the United States next year. Hamilton, of course, won the first race here in 2012. And, of course, Sunday's race in Interlagos, Sao Paulo, whatever you want to call it now, Brazil, was pretty exciting. With a lot of drama going on. We don't have the off-the-track drama here in the Prospects eRacing League. We just have a lot of excitement during the races, as I try to fill time and commentary during qualifying. My side commentator or co-commentator, what do you want to call it, Team Miles 99, is still under the weather. He'll be back next week. Hope he gets over his flu and gets his voice back as we work on the 2 commentary team at that point. Let's see if we can get somebody that's going to sit at time here. Bring up the tire information. Optic sets his first time 1:32.377. Villeneuve 1965, 2 seconds behind. Both in the softs. We got Palmer coming back in. Villeneuve going through the S's. Right after Phil Hill, which is the name of the hill leading up to the first corner on this legendary track. And if you're unaware, Saudi Arabia was released today for F1 2021 for Prix as part of their Post-launch DLC, kind of strange because the track isn't even finished yet, but they got the layout. And Alex D gets a 131 early on here with about just under 13 minutes to go. I tried the Jetta track. It's actually pretty damn fun. A lot of long straights, not a lot of chance for hiccuping and dealing with other people in the sharp corners. And there's two almost 45-degree hairpins, not really. But it's a very fast track, surprisingly, with room to pass. Some runoff area, but it's a city circuit, so mostly corridored. But again, I enjoyed my time with it. Alex D currently on pole at 131. We'll see what Villeneuve sets here. Currently on the 134. Never mind, he is pitting to get back around. Let's get to Raphael. See if he's going to be able to set a time here, or if he's going to dip in the pits as he's just testing the tires. Going into the 45 after the straight. Another interesting race this weekend was the Petit Le Mans in Road Atlanta in the United States. That's a 12-hour race that was a really enjoyable endurance race, if that's your thing. The series is always worth checking out, the Rolex series, or any GT racing. See if anybody else can set a time here. We got Tina Roto out too, coming off of Phil Hill. Boyer out in the track, going into the S's. Raphael will be the first one to come around and set a time. And here we go, down the front straight. What's he got? He's on the mediums as well. Is he going to set a time here? Does not get a time set. There. Comes Tintoretto. Completing the S's. I guess it would help if we would switch to the broadcast view. Assassin did not set a qualifying lap. Don't know if he hit the wall or what. Our two fastest time. And honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, I figured you were going to retire on purpose. I'm not going to lie. It's going to make things a lot more interesting for both of them starting at the back of the pack. Cameron and Assassin, two of the fastest, if not the two fastest in the race. At this point, Assassin is toying with his competition. It's like if Max Verstappen just said, screw it, I'm going to start in the back. We don't count Lewis Hamilton. Raphael's still in the mediums. In the Williams. Pretty bright spot there. Give the heads up. Assassin still in the points championship here. Still in the lead. But I guess it's a lot of exuding confidence there if you keep aiming for the championship and say screw it. Currently, right now, Alex D is in first. We got Optic on his outlap again. Tintoretto, 24, going through the S's, hopping the wheel curb there. Ingram is beast, is set a time, but not really, might be happy with where he's at. We'll find out. We still got 9 minutes left. David Boyer, second lap on those softs. Raphael's still on the mediums. And he goes around, and he has hit the wall. He is out of qualifying. Raphael is done on those mediums. Not getting that grip. Didn't happen. Tintoretto one lap on the softs. Just want to hide this spectator menu thing, but can't do it. Right now, we got Optic and Tintoretto on the track. Pavlovsky in the pits. We got Ingram, Villeneuve, Palmer, and Lucifer Shahid returning back out as we got 11th. Alex still in the pits. He might be sitting on that time until somebody else ups it, and it could be Optic. Tintoretto has been quiet this year in terms of it's been competitive. He's not squeaked it out yet as he comes back to the pits. Optic making his run, going by the Ferris wheel. The amount of things to do with this circuit in Austin is vast. That's all I say. Out, and Optic overshooting the corner. Spinneroonie. I got a feeling this race is going to be pretty hectic. We'll go back to Ingram in the Ferrari down the back. Coming up the front stretch. Is he going to get a time set? Or be his out lap? Let's see if he can push something here. Still got just under 8 minutes left. Again, the two biggest competitors from last week, Passassin and Cameron, have opted not to qualify and will start from the back of the pack. Raffol has gone to the back of the pack in an accident. Alex D currently on pole by about a half a second, just over half a second. Optic spun out. It's not really going to matter on this lap, but he is looking fast through the S's. Let's see if he can maintain that gumption again and not overshoot the corner. Brakes are hot. They're hot. Getting through sector 1 into the hairpin and down the long straight. And he is trying to charge it up. And Palmer gets pole currently with 6.5 left. Palmer 131.680. Just a shade over 100, well, about 100th of a second off from Alex. Palmer, this is somebody I don't know that's changed their screen name, has been a little bit absent in recent races. If I'm wrong, correct me, but he wasn't here last week. Alex D looking to come back. Can Optic make up and crack a 130 here? He is looking fast. Comes wide out of the corner. And he's going to the pits. Testing his limits. We still have just over 5 minutes left. Cycle down to Ingram in the Ferrari. Looks like he's already improving his time once. He might be closing this out and going back to the pits. He's down to a 132.975. Our current stakeholder prize of that pole position, fighting off the competition at Austin, is Galt Palmer. And I'm going to have to plug in my controller. And let me do that right quick. Palmer might be resting on his laurels. Alex is coming back in to get ready to make one charge. So is Optic. Tintoretto, fresh tires, currently a 132.598. Going down the long backstretch. How dare this cable be so long? Trying to look for my specific cable. Maybe this is it. Maybe not. 132.598, currently sitting at it. The time I took it to do that, he finally finished the straightaway. Quite impressive. And I can't plug that in there. It's wonderful. Ah, here's a spot. And we got Tintoretto to the line here. Currently sitting third at 132.038. Is this fit? Are we charging? I don't know. Outlap for Optic. Clearly just said screw it. He's driving through the runoff areas. Guess that's not going to work out too well. Lucifer Shahid. Slow going through the S's. David Boyer. Can he get a push here? Crack that 132 and hopefully crack the top 5. Still don't think this thing's charging. So it dies, I'll just grab the other one. Speaking of somebody we haven't mentioned yet, Ray and Pulowski down at the lower end. Ray currently sitting in 8th. Hopefully been sitting back and seeing that they can make a push. A little bit more of the mid-pack drivers here. Let's cycle back to Tintoretto. As he's just getting around the track to go to the pits. Looks kind of quick through there. Unless he's just in a hurry to go to the bathroom. Who knows? It doesn't seem to be holding back or charging DRS or anything. And he is into the pits. Lucifer make a push here to crack that top 5. Nope. I think he's just getting a feel for things. David Boyer. See if he sets a time here higher than his 133. And he is not. Still 133.585, currently sitting in 7th. Optic now. The one that could sneak in and take this here at the end. Still got yellow in sector 3. Not sure if somebody went off. Might be Lucifer. Again, if you've missed the first part of qualifying, Assassin and Cameron decided to retire. They will start from the back. Raphael hit the wall. Back in Cam Lewis coming out of the S's. This is the United States Grand Prix at Austin. What does Optic have here? I think his final push got some traffic in front of him. That slipstream might actually help him get a boost. If that's what he's looking for. And it looks to be that way as he stays on the track. They get out of the way. I believe that was Boyer out of the way. Coming to the I believe we're getting close to the line here. Nope, we're getting through the end. Go to these tight corners. And into the sweeping corners. What does Optic have? As Alex is also back on the course. Try and get something at the end. We got just over a minute left in qualifying. Of course, they'll probably tack on like 2 extra minutes for whatever. Optic sets the fastest time, 1:31.510, just a shade over 1/10 of a second. Almost 2/10 of a second. Currently sitting on pole. Hoping to steal this and aim closer to the top spot in the championship. Palmer's also back out for one last run. Let's go to Alex. Quality control, Alex DO4 QC. Now bumped down to 3rd. So we have just over 2/10 of a second separating 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I believe we're doing, well, I saw 28 or 29 laps of this race. We'll find out when it starts. Alex. Entering sector 3 now. It's just the tail end of the course. It's somewhere. And here we go with the push. Can you set a time here? Alex gets the pull back. 1:31.499. Just enough a sneeze in front. Simply blowing out your breath to take ahead of PRL Optic. And we go back to Palmer and the McLaren. Can he sneak in and blow everybody out of the water with a 1:30.9? That's pushing it, but let's find out. It's not looking too quick coming off of that corner. Tight handling through there. Didn't seem to lose any grip. Great camera angle. Does he have the speed? Does he have the gumption to take this? What's he at? Palmer does not improve his time. 1:31.560. He is locked in 3rd. Tintoretto. Time remaining 2 minutes to finish it. That's what she said. Tintoretto. Currently 1:32.038. Looking much quicker than Palmer was through there. Can he at least get on that podium pre-race, whatever it is? Aaron Carey has joined. And Tintoretto's pitting, so it looks like we are probably going to be in on that. We got Ray still left on the course. Going wide there. Can you set a time? As traffic stood in the way. Clearly defense. This is not. Ray is set in at 8th. Shahid is set in at 6th at 1:33 as Boyer and Ray could not top it. We have Polowski somehow I guess he's on the out lap. Don't know if he's going to be able to set a quicker time. Currently, though, is the way it sits, unless some miracle happens, Alex D sneaks in and takes that pole at 1:31.499. Parallel Optics second. Got Palmer third. Tinretto fourth. Ingram is Beast fifth. And our current points leader, Assassin, at the end, and arguably his fastest competition in terms of speed, Cameron. I guess start 12th. I guess they're flipping a coin. See if anybody gets any entrance to the race late. 15 seconds left in this session of overtime. Somebody go by somebody. Up, and we have the AI showing up for some reason. That must be a bug. Oh, and yeah, that's it. So we are set for the United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of Americas in Austin, Texas. Alex first, Optic second, Palmer third, Retto fourth, Ingram fifth. Get ready for the excitement. Side-by-side Ferraris on the grid, side-by-side Red Bulls on the grid. The Austin race this year was much entertaining as well, as this entire Formula One season as a whole has been. Not sure, Alex still shows you in the game. Something bugged out there at the end, if you all witnessed that. We got robot Sebastian Vettel and other Formula One drivers that popped up at the end of that. But let's see what happens. Because hopefully all is smooth and we don't have to start the stream over. Oh! Oh! Wow. Well, this kind of messes up everything. Welcome to Austin. It decided to rain today. Everything's out the window from what we just saw. Put on your hats, grab your umbrellas, get a poncho, I don't know. This is going to be pure and smooth entertainment. Get your rain tires going. Do we know if it's going to rain the whole day? I have no idea. It doesn't tell me. We'll see if it stops, if anything changes around, but this is a kink in. Maybe they knew. Maybe Passassin looked at the weather forecast. Who knows? Maybe he feels it's better to start the back because of the rain, because clearly right now, yes. But this isn't the type of track to where you're going to bunch up in the first corner. There's so much give at the top of Phil Hill in the turn one as we go here for the start of the race with Alex in first as they take their warm-up lap, powered by Amazon Web Services. I'm not endorsing them. You just saw the tire telemetry that was up for exactly 3 seconds and then disappeared. The way I see it, it's wet. There really is no tire telemetry. You might change, you might not. We'll find out. The wonderful green tires. This race is going to be insane. I am not sure if it has ever rained at Austin outside of the premier NASCAR event that was there last year when it was a torrential downpour of rain in Texas, and people couldn't see in front of them. But I do not recall a Formula One race that was in the rain here, and this might be the first. Again, the rundown: Alex, Optic, Palmer, Tintoretto, Ingram in the Ferrari, Lucifer in the Ferrari, Boyer in the Red Bull, as they ditch the white liveries for the traditional blue liveries. Ray, Raphael, Villeneuve, Polovsky, Cameron, Passassin, and Aaron Carey, who came in late, did not set a time. I knew he was here because I could hear him on my microphone. What is going to happen here? We have 28 laps of bedlam. Such drama when it rains. The only thing that could make this more insane would be if it was at night. The power of the PlayStation 5 showcasing the ray tracing, the reflections from the rain off of the bodies. This is going to be rather exciting. And it's going to be really hard to top last week's race. Last week's race was just malevolent. I can't even make up a word for it. Like it was impeccable. It's the best esports race I've ever witnessed between. Brilliant competition. As we circle back around the line for this start. Who's going to get grip off of this start? Hopefully nobody's cheating with the assists. Although it's not cheating, but my personal vendetta is cheating. Getting back to their grid spots. Getting ready for that green flag. Somewhere Will Smith is here in the crowd. Who knows? You see the water touching the camera. The raindrops. Tears. Will it be tears of joy or tears of fury at the end of this race? Let's get them lights up. Let's bring up. I don't think the tires are going to be very useful. So we will display the penalties. Actually, we won't. Somebody must be lagging behind. Seriously, what's going on? Aaron Carey. There he is. Thanks for showing up to the game, buddy. The Mercedes. Trail end. And is driving through everybody for some reason. I believe we have a connection issue, which is not good. Somebody want to come along and say what's going on here? It'll be a shame to start this over. Yeah, this is round 5. We've had no issues with the Codemaster bugs yet this season. They could be racing for all I know, but all I see is what I see. And everybody's at the grid. And we're reconnecting. Guys got to get off that DSL. Get off that dial-up. So, we are making another warm-up lap as, again, Aaron looks to be sitting in the back. Is this the race? I guess this is the race. Here we go. Off the lap. Green. Aaron sitting in the back. 5-second penalty for Tintoretto with Optic. I have no idea what's going on. Is this even worth, unless they're just this slow. Looks like we're good. And now we got a virtual safety car. And Carey has been disqualified. Got to get that DSL, boy. Get off of it. Well, this has already been a mess. Rain messes with everything. This is the type of stuff that happens in real life all the time. So Optic got ahead of Alex, but there was a collision involving somebody. Tintoretto, who got a 5-second penalty for that, so it's going to take him quite a bit. If he's going to win this race, he's going to have to win it by 5 seconds at this point. Looks like we're out of the virtual safety car and back to racing. One stop, 14 to 17 laps in, 2 stops for the wets. If you're going through tires that fast on wet tires, I don't know what to tell you. That's a lot of spinning. As they are nursing it through the tight sections here in Austin, the United States Grand Prix. Round 5 of America's Tier 1 of Prospects eRacing League. Some technical difficulties to start the race. Aaron Carey is out. Generally a good competitor. Did not work out for him today. Case of the Mondays, I guess. It might be Tuesday where some of you guys are right now. I couldn't tell you. Optic to the line. Fastest lap at nearly 2 minutes. Almost 25 seconds off the qualifying pace. And I will just go ahead and tell you, we're just going to go ahead and follow Passassin, started from last along with Cameron. These are the 2 competitors. That's going to be a matter of Optic and Alex holding them off for victory. The wet throws it out. Great camera angle. Coming off of turn 1 in Phil Hill going into the S's. Cameron currently in front of Assassin. David Boyer, the first boss in the ascension of both of these drivers. 1.4 second lead. Cameron's already fast in the wet, going to the outside. Going to the outside, pressure into the hairpin, going to the straight. Brilliant overtake on the outside. This man passed on the outside of somebody at Monaco, such gumption. Separates him and Assassin just a little bit. Coming down the straight, who's got the faster speed? Assassin going around Boyer as well. We get it, there's tire strategy. To the inside, Boyer lets him through. And we got fifth and sixth now for Cameron and Assassin. Are they teaming up to get to the front to battle each other, or are they trying to do their due? Ah! Cameron's off the track! Cutting right back on. I'm not sure if that was kind of dangerous in front of Boyer. Did not. Well, they did lose a position. No, he did not. Yes, he did. It was fifth and sixth. Sorry. They're running next to each other. Cameron overshoots the corner. Assassin's precision will allow him to get that overtake. Optic with the fastest lap as we're getting those tires heated up. 148.332. Assassin with the 146. He's coming, fellas. Ingram to the top. Can he hold it off? Cineretto with the penalty. A little bit of a hop there, some lag. Optic is starting to separate himself bit by bit from the competition. So right now, we show you position change. Assassin up 8 positions. Cameron up 6. Palmer has fallen 5. Clearly can't handle the wet. Let's see if he can respond and rebound. Polowski with a 3-second time penalty down in 11th. Villeneuve in the back. Optic did start second. Swap first, and then we get a virtual safety car. It is absolutely raining cats and dogs out here, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. And we have a pass here. Assassin on the rear end of Ingram. Will he let him by, or will he fight? Back in coming out a little bit there for Assassin. He is being aggressive. Cameron right on that butt. Assassin tries to get underneath. Good battle hill. Ingram holding off. Assassin not intruding too much, but it's going to get to the point. Is he going to let him by? Where's the give going to be as the talent just take over? Looks like it'll be the final corner here. Assassin down underneath. Is there contact? None. Good overtake. We got Cameron. Can he catch the slipstream of Assassin to catch up? Right now, that is not the case. Ingram breaking the slipstream. I believe Cameron just goes around. Another outside pass, but it does not. Does he get it? Does he get it? Yes, he does. Cameron with the pass over Ingram is beast. And they are hunting, sniffing that podium. Cineretto is next on the clock. 1.5 second advantage currently on Assassin. We will not see DRS in the wet, so it's going to be pure ability and gumption to push in the rain. And we already saw what Cameron did trying to push in the rain. He almost got out of this race. Alex 0.6 on Optic as he's putting pressure on the leader. Unbelievable push here. Optic in the Alpine. It's just going to be a matter of time. Cineretto is losing a little bit of time. This means these two, Assassin and Cameron, gaining the time. Up 9 positions, a combination of 16. I can do math at this moment. The fact that they're finding grip with their setups and maintaining the speed is remarkable. Assassin, another fastest lap, 1:46.3. And he's now a half a second behind Tintoretto. Alex continues to push, getting to the S's here. Raindrops falling on my window. Raindrop, drop top, take a big dump. Parallel optic. 0.7 now. Not sure where he's going to be able to create separation as Alex is creeping. We got 0.2 here for Tintoretto and Assassin. And Cameron's out of the race! He must have gotten aggressive again. We got a safety car. Cameron has once again wrecked. The aggression has once again bit him in the rear. He will join Aaron Carey on the DNF. Cameron, the defending champion, has just not had that consistency this year. He showed last week his capabilities. Maintain the gap mark. QC Alex D. The question is, do we pit 5 laps in on the wets? Still a bit early for the pit, but if you're going to play strategy, is somebody going to pull it out and just do it? Assassin, his main competition has been eliminated, but not to deter the current leader of the race, who is either second or third in points. It's not far behind. 9 positions for Assassin. And we've got one doing it. We got Tintoretto pitting. Going with the strategy. Will it bite him? Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off. He's got time to make up. He'll be able to catch a field in the safety car unless it just drops. This puts Assassin up to third. We got 2 in the pits. Pulowski hoping something happens here. He's not had a good race. We got 4 in the pits. All the back markers hoping to make a difference and maybe not pit again and take it to the end. But with the way video games are, we can't look at a radar map. We can't view the weather system. This game and the gods of Codemasters Formula 1 will be the ones to decide if the sun comes out as Pulowski gets squirrely warming up those tires. Currently with the safety car out with Cameron wrecking. Optic, Alex, Assassin up 10 spots. Alex was on pole. They have swapped after an incident with Tintoretto, who still has well, he had a penalty and is now gone. Assassin, Ingram, Boyer, Palmer, who had strong qualifying but doesn't seem to be doing too well in the wet. Lucifer, Rafael. Tintoretto comes out 9th after the pit stop. Ray, who is still making his way around the course. Pulowski, followed by Villeneuve. I still wish we could see what happened. Cameron was on the tail of Assassin basically the entire time. And it must have been coming over that hill, going into the hairpin that hits the straight on the back, sector 2. Must have went off. He went off once already, saved it. But not everybody could be Ayrton Senna or Fernando Alonso. Currently lap 6. Assassin again started from the back, elected to do that. Currently up to 3rd. I think we need to check his DRS measurements. That's a jab at this past weekend. There is no DRS in the rain, of course. And we'll be taking another lap. So, here's our stops currently. Obviously 6 laps on the, I guess they're actually rolling with intermediates. Pulowski with the bold move on the mediums. That would be why he got no traction leaving the course. Pulowski also has a 6-second penalty. We'll be surprised if he makes it through the race. Assassin in the Alfa Romeo. Looks to have a little bit of random damage. Shows it in the telemetry. Lap data, track data. As you can see, get an idea of just how tight some of these S's are on the mini map. Really unbelievable here. Pulowski back in the pits, decided that those mediums were not going to work. Here's our fastest lap time currently as we are on lap 7 here under the safety car. Piastri in the wet's basically silver second faster than Optic. Same tires. This is quite... We said the build-up was going to be there. It was going to be a very surprising race. It's kind of like getting dropped that no disqualification match right before the pay-per-view. No DQ. That's what the reign is in Formula One when it's unannounced. No disqualification. I don't know what that means. Somebody's sending messages. Still, this must have been a pretty hefty wreck. Once again, camera goes down for at least the second time this season, if not the third. His aggressive style. He's fast, but he's not careful. Assassin has that speed and more, but his precision, his ability has been no doubt unmatched throughout this season. We're bunching up here. Looks like we got possibly somebody coming into the pit, unless they just dipped early. Does not look that way. One more lap, possibly. All this does is help the tires. It'd be nice if they'd at least show where the wreck was at in the track with like the tow trucks and whatnot. But they don't. Palmer started strong. Has not been able to handle the wet. Boyer, leader of the mid-pack, able to compete and win a race this year. That was a very entertaining race. Maybe not the best racing like we had last week in Brazil, but guy certainly has abilities. Gonna maintain the gap. The gap. Maintain the gap, Mark. Ingram with a strong showing early on in the wet. Currently 4th. He's moved up a spot from 5th. Austin sees the likes of now NASCAR, also IndyCar, MotoGP, Superbikes of America, and the Rolex GT and Prototype Series, which was at Road Atlanta last week for the Petite Le Mans. I would love to do a track day at Austin. There's so much room. Take your car out there. Imagine taking go-karts around Austin. It's so long, but it would just be, you know, pedal down. Just be able to drift around every corner no matter what because they're so wide. That would be a fun corner. Safety car in this lap. Thank God something's happening. Who's going to pull out in front? Are they going to bunch up at the top? There's absolutely no telling here. Everything's on the table. Assassin could easily take the lead in that first corner. Depends on his jump on his start. I hope Cameron is okay. Obviously, that took out about 3 laps to clean that damage. Optic, Alex, Assassin, Ingram, Boyer, Palmer, Lucifer, somewhere, Rafael, Tintoretto, who elected to pit, going with a different strategy, hoping not to have to pit again, because everybody else will have to pit. If he can make up time. And here we go! Optic, Alex, there goes Assassin. He's going to dip under the middle, push it hard underneath, does not get first, takes second on the aggression. Coming through the S's here, starting them. Assassin. Eyes on the target, eyes on the prize. Optic, these are the points leaders. Tries it on the outside, nothing there. Very difficult to pass in this, not to mention it's wet. Trying to nudge his way under. On the outside, does he do the outside pass? No, is he going to try a cross up? It is so tight. Tight, tight, tight. Optic holding off currently. He's going to be able to hold off right on the butt of Optic. There's the move. There's the move. Pushing it under hard into the 45, and he takes it. Forces Optic to the outside. Optic's not giving up. Optic pushes it back. Makes it and forces his way in, but is there. Gets pushed to the outside as he came in too hard. What a battle, ladies and gentlemen. Now he's sliding. Woo, that light's coming into play here. Assassin, clean pass there, now making up 12 positions. Gets by Optic, and it might be all it's just sick, and Optic push the boundaries here and get this back. There's no DRS today to help anyone. Precise driving, that grip, and maintaining speed is going to be what it is needed to take down Assassin, as he is again showing his domination. Starting from next to last. As his speed competition and Cameron has wrecked out. His points competition he just passed for the championship. Currently around 5. Go back to Boyer and Ingram here. They are all close. Not sure how much racing we're going to get here as they spread out. We got a spin in sector 2. Let's take a look at Tintoretto. Down 3 spots from where he started, but slowly making up time on fresher tires. It's not benefited the likes of Ray or Villeneuve yet. Assassin here. And with it being a wet race, he could dominate all day, but you don't know. He overshoots a corner by accident. Those tires start going. All of a sudden, it turns into a giant wild card. Optic needs something to happen to where he can capitalize on it to make up ground, not only in the race, but in the championship race. LXD is creeping behind. Not too far off, but he's losing ground. Assassin with the fastest lap currently, 1:46.234. I'm going to use that for lottery numbers. Now up to a 2-second lead. Keeping a close eye on Assassin, who now gets a 3-second time penalty. So he will at least need to win the race by 3 seconds or pit and take the penalty. It's just a speed bump at this point, as he's now out to almost 2.5 seconds. Optic losing ground as Alex is now gaining ground. The rain coming down more. It's a flood. It's a tsunami of wet joy. Ingram also creeping. Boyer slowly off the track, off pace. Tintoretto looking to capitalize to get back into that top 5. We got a battle brewing. Palmer right there, side by side. Nestles in behind Tintoretto into the 45. Here we go. Half a second. And then half a second. Boyer looks to be losing his grip. Not handling the wet on worn tires very well. Gets up a little bit of pace there. He's 3.5 seconds off. We jump back to Alex. He's looking to bust a move on Optic as they come to the front stretch. Assassin's lead now 3 seconds. Going to the top of the hill. Can Alex force his way in underneath to make something happen? Maybe it's too early. We're nearing the halfway point in about 2 more laps. Not quite on it at this point. Roll back at Tintoretto. Getting closer. Palmer getting separated a little bit to try and take and get in that top 5 on fresher tires. I mean, honestly, at this point, if you're on fresher tires with no intention of pitting at the end of the race, then I would just nurse the tires. There's no reason to push it at this point. Save what you can for the end. But even in the wet on worn tires, you're going to be hurt. We'll see if they put it again. Here comes the move. Tintoretto. Does he get by clean? He does. Gets under Boyer on the straight. Palmer right behind. Can he make a move on Boyer? Tintoretto now 3.5 seconds behind Ingram to get to the 4th spot. We got Alex inching such closer. Making dent after dent into this battle for second as Passassin is beginning to open up his gap, much like the days of Michael Schumacher blowing away his competition. Lewis Hamilton will get no credit. Optic separating a little bit here. Who's got the speed? Alex is clearly being aggressive as he keeps getting loose coming off of these corners. 0.5, 0.4. Not enough there. It's the battle we are currently watching is for second. But he keeps getting squirrely. Trying to run him down. If he's not careful, he's going to end up like Cameron. Plofsky has also retired from the race. We're down to 11 contestants. Let's give you the next contestant on The Price is Right. Optic, Ingram, Alex, names. 6.2 now for your leader on the stretch. Unbelievable. Somebody check this man's car. What he is pulling wide here. At this point, he just needs to keep it safe. I'm sure there's nobody at my house for some reason. What's that? What's next door? Looking at people. Optic, 7 seconds even behind Alex. He's trying to apply the pressure, but every time he tries to push it just enough to get an advantage, he gets squirrely. I'm not saying this is much of a defense as my dog is barking in the background because somebody drove by. Tintoretto is closing on Ingram is beast in the Haas. Yes, Haas. Assassin 145.636 in the wet. 13 laps on those tires. Unbelievable drive. It's extremely ridiculous. How much he just destroys the competition here. When he doesn't mess up. Alex D. Not really making a dent anymore. Still maintaining. As we've hit the halfway point on the United States Grand Prix for the Prospects eRacing League. America's Tier 1. It's the 5th race of the season. Quick recap again. Cameron wrecks out. Aaron Carey gets disconnected with DSL, and Plofsky does retire. Well, it doesn't say he's officially DNF'd, but he's grayed out. Ingram is, well, I won't say he's really making any ground. He's there, but Tintoretto is slowly making it around to get to that 4th. Oh, we got Alex. We got a move here. There's a yellow in Sector 2. Somebody did something. But anyways, here comes the push finally from Alex, who's close enough to get off that corner well. Smooth sailing from there. Good defense for Optic. Tire, brakes, brakes burn red. Ingram. Tintoretto now within striking distance, and we are getting ever so closer to that battle for second. As tires get old, and Tintoretto rolls with it with younger tires, half the lifespan so far. It is wondering, though, if he will have to pit again or if he really thinks that he can nurse this. 0.3 Tintoretto. We got Ingram not really putting up a fight as the inside here. Going to have an outside pass. Ingram easily lets him by. Tintoretto into fourth. No point in fighting it at that point. Boyer must have spun where that yellow was. Got off pace. He is now 7.8 behind. Palmer is right there. As we cycle back to the S's with the battle for second, Alex D and Optic. 14 laps on those tires. When do the pit stops come? Are they going to look closer to 20 laps? Is it going to be the next 2 laps? As you can see there, Alex again getting squirrely off the corner. Tintoretto in the sights. Fresher tires, more speed, more grip coming off the corners. It's only a matter of time. Passat's looking to get that ultimate lead where he can pit and then come back out into the lead. Tintoretto is hoping that that's not the case. Look at these 4 march down in the fog of rain, the fog of war in Austin, Texas. Passat, your leader, 11 seconds. This guy on cruise control. Unbelievable speed, unbelievable grip. The speed, the noise. Now 11 seconds, 11 and a half and counting. Alex losing a little bit of ground here. Was not able to do it. Them tires are getting old. And looks like Tintoretto is trying to play the risk game again. Pits for new tires. He knows he's capable of making a run here. And if he does it again, let's see how well this pays off. Maybe it leads to a podium. Such gumption. We have somebody else pitting too. Boyer's coming in. Palmer's coming in. Leading the mid-mark, the mid-pack racers. Alex 0.2 behind on the old tires. Tintoretto just started a chain of events there. That's his second stop today. He knows he's got what it takes to make up the time. Because at this point, it's going to take strategy and luck to surpass Passat. As we see here, 0.3 of a second separating these two. Great in-car view here. Cockpit. A little bit of cockpit. And Alex with the pass on the inside, finally. Laps and laps. Optic lets him go. Not much of a fight. Will not be surprised to see them both pit this lap. Maybe at this point. Well, they had swapped at some point here. Not sure exactly what's going on. Optic is back in second, Alex in third after that pass. Maybe I'm losing my mind, who knows? Do they pit? We got one pitting. Alex into the pits. Optic stays out, maybe maintains a gap here. And we got Passat in the pits. Already made a clean pit. Optic does take the lead. So we're kind of looking at that gap for, that's coming close to 25 seconds here between Tintoretto and Passat. Maybe not as much. Optic, the ticking time bomb here at this point. Tries to push these tires longer to stay in the lead, but Passat comes out in second, almost 4.5 seconds back, 4 seconds back. Ray pitted on the virtual safety car, and so did Villeneuve, so they are on old tires. They will eventually pit again if they try to make it to the end. I really don't see them staying where they're at. It's Tintoretto already 5th, Alex 3/10 of a second behind that. Excellent battle we're going to have here between these two. Fresh tires, fresh rubber, tarmac, fancy words. Tintoretto makes his move around Villeneuve with ease. Ray is next, and this will put Tintoretto squarely up, staring second place in his eyes. Strategy looks to have paid off early. Optic, not necessarily. We might see him fall. Tintoretto is closing in, while Assassin is closing in on Optic, but there's no choice. There's no point in pushing it. Optic will eventually pit, unless he really thinks he don't need to. But I think he still has to. Look at our stops here. 1 stop for Assassin. Tintoretto on 2. That medium did not really go too well for Polowski, who was out of the race, along with Cameron and Carey. Optic holding off, counting the days, as Assassin now under 2 seconds. While Tintoretto on fresh tires battles Ray on old tires, and will Ray just let him pass? That's the question. Or we'll see catastrophe in the eyes of the Haas. The water runs low on me as it rains on my screen. 0.4 with Alex sitting back a little bit, but not too far out of the fray. Wishing DRS was the thing. Both of these combatants. And we got to spin somewhere. Sector 1, who's losing the time? Maybe it's Lucifer. 0.6 now for Assassin on Optic, who is basically on ice skates at this point. Getting around with 18 laps on the tires, and we get a little bit of contact there. Bumps him out of the way, as he could have just moved, but there was contact made there. Assassin back into the lead. Expect Optic to pit. Tintoretto makes his way around Ray, and so does Alex. Not quite for Alex. Assassin now fastest lap, 1:44. What can Alex do here? Tintoretto, 15 seconds to Optic. Would be 17 seconds to the leader, both on fresh tires. But one's faster than the other. Maybe Tintoretto has something up his sleeve. 19 to 28 laps. Staring down. 9 laps to go. Top of run can he make? Alex up, Ray falls. We're going to have Ingram also on fresher tires, not too far behind. Ray hops the curb there, hops the curb again. See Assassin started next to last, 12 positions made. Tintoretto is currently made up position. Ray's made up 3, but that will begin to fall. And we'll go back to Alex, as they were beginning to space out a little bit. And 18 laps on those tires. It's been a brilliant drive for, experimenting on how much grip you have with Optic. Still got that, maintaining that gap. For some reason, Tintoretto can't catch him. Maybe he doesn't have to pit, but he's got no stops. I think he got to pit once. So, does he do it here? He does not. He is maintaining the gap. Assassin, another fastest lap. It is just brilliant. Let's take a look at his speed and precision for one full lap, as currently not much is going on. He just feathers that throttle, gets that speed up slowly and efficiently, and is just premier on speed. I mean, Assassin is Assassin and Precision, probably. We'll just pretend it is. His ability to drive in any circumstance, in any situation, is the reason why he leads the current championship. Coming to the straight. And it looks like we got Ray and Ingram. Ingram gets around Ray. We got the raindrops and the drop tops. Taking big dumps. Tintoretto's not really making a dent on Optic. Optic's still yet to pit as he comes down the straight. Pressure tires, 2 stops will hopefully allow him to get a podium, but Alex is right there gunning for that podium. Everybody else down the back straight as well. Optic. Unbelievable driving these tires either way. Assassin more with the speed and that setup. It's basically a game of golf. Dude could read a book, make a sandwich. Make sure he doesn't mess up, but he continues to set fast lap after fast lap after fast lap. 20 laps now on Optic's tires. Does not pit. Not sure what's going to happen at the end of this race if he doesn't pit. Tintoretto making scratches to get to where he needs to be. But at this point, looking just to fight off for a podium spot in third. Maybe have to make up 2 seconds a lap to catch Optic, which he could, but it doesn't seem to be that way. But again, if Optic pits, there's a chance Optic could still come out in front. So I think that might be why Optic's holding off to the very end, as he has a 14-second lead on Tintoretto. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to come back out in second, or at least take second back. And we got a battle here. Alex for the third for that podium spot. Gets underneath Tintoretto. And he goes around! He goes around! He goes around and he saves it. No contact. Tintoretto also went around. Ingram now takes third. Optic might just have second. Ingram back. Did not respond well to that. Catastrophe. The top of Phil Hill. As these three will battle for that third spot. All right there. In the torrential downpour of rock and roll in Austin, Texas. Assassin again laughs every time he goes over the finish line. Just a smirk. Just to piss everybody off. Tintoretto. This group is now 22 seconds behind. Optic could pit. Still finish second. Why is the sound getting really quiet? That's weird. I don't need to hear that. Nurse is around. These three begin to separate again. Bold move. Cannot be aggressive in the floods. This is the floodlands. Sisters of Mercy. Alex D. Tinto, this is where they spun last time. They'll be a lot more cautious through there now. It's like mopping the floor and a banana peel. Somebody threw the blue shell. Such garbage. Ingram now trailing again. Not handling the wet too well. Well enough currently for a top 5 finish. With about 6 laps to go. Optic. What does he do now? 10 seconds behind Assassin. Continues to set a fastest lap just by a thousandth of a second, basically. 21 seconds here. These three bunched together. It's going to take somebody being aggressive again in the corners to catch one another. So we'll take a look back at Palmer in 8th and Raphael in 9th. Close proximity. Boyer holding off. Assassin again. I'm just going to stop announcing it. We'll see at the end. These are all extra. That's going to be an extra point. Palmer Can he make his move in the wet? Such a good qualifying session. Again, all within a second. Going through the parking lot of Walmart in the rain. Getting that target red card with some Starbucks. Boyer manages to be the lead pack leader. Ray off on his own as the Honda Red Bulls sit dead in the middle. 3, 4, and 5 have separated. Not much of a push. The Spinneroonies must have scared them. They might be happy sitting where they're at, just surviving this race. Hopefully they don't wreck their car and cost them millions of dollars. Optic, 22 laps, the same tires. You can't see how tore up they are, but trust me, they're tore up. Palmer with a 3-second penalty now. As we go to the back. Don't even know where he's at. Raphael, Palmer, all on Boyer. It's a good race in here. Well, the tires are just warm enough. It's like toasted marshmallows. On the stretch, can they get a slipstream here to do something? That McLaren get by that Red Bull of Honda to take 7th. Not much happening. It really comes down to making those corners perfectly. Coming off of the corner with grip and speed. Maintaining integrity, intensity, and intelligence. Ray. 9 seconds from Ingram. Alex. Still not enough in that Williams. Every time he gets close, he falters shortly after. Tintoretto within 18 seconds. Hoping to get that podium position. Optic. 23 laps on these tires. And up Assassin. 6 laps on those. A dominating performance starting from, well, he tried to start from last place, but when Aaron Carey coming late, didn't finish the race. And then Cameron DNF's out of the race once again. As they both marched through the field, but aggression got the best of Cameron. Optic now 16 behind, an equal distance to third from Tintoretto, and we got close to a second here. We got possibly a spin in sector 1. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, we got a virtual safety car. Somebody went down, and it looks like it is Lucifer. It was parked on the course, trying to get it going again in the grass. Must be he's protesting or something. Something happened. Villeneuve also involved. So we will. Not sure if we're going to bring everybody closer together here. Optic 23 seconds currently. Tintoretto 20. So I'll have to work closer. Assassin. He's bored enough. Let it be a shootout with 3 laps to go if necessary. He is cruising. And we're back off of the virtual safety car. Made absolutely no difference. Look at our stops. The 2 stops clearly worked out for Tintoretto. The initial tire change was enough to close the gap and to be in there, but when it was time for everybody to actually change their tires, he did it again and was able to secure possibly at least the top 4, unless something happens. But we're down 3 laps left, so Assassin again, just making his way around. Doesn't look particularly fast, but he's just precise in the wet. Optic, 24 laps on the tires. That alone is pretty brilliant. Tintoretto. on the backstretch. Can he still hold up Alex? Alex does not seem to be much of a threat at all. Anytime he gets close, it just doesn't happen. Ingram in the Ferrari. Just nursing this stuff home, it seems like. Ray. Still got a battle back here with these. But they just can't get that push right to overtake. Raphael did get around Palmer. And Raphael goes wide there, pushing it too hard in. Palmer will get back by. No, Raphael goes back. But still not going to be really enough to get that Palmer back by Raphael. Must be he's just got not feeling the grip. This guy's Palmer again had a good qualifying session, but maybe the wet is not there home. Boyer skating by. Ray off on his own. Ingram 3.5 behind Alex. And we checking on Optic. Does he make a bold move here and try to pit, or is he just going to take a penalty or something? No, that is still the Sector 1. Assassin again, just dominating up to 22nd. 8 laps on these tires. 25 laps on those tires. Yes, he can handle the wet very well, but he's just surviving. Optic has been a strong competitor all season. Assassin has been the competitor to beat all season. And Teneretto has been fairly consistent all year and has been a threat in all the races. Definitely a podium star this current season, along with Alex. Always right there in the mix. And then we look at Ingram, who begins the mid-pack. Ferrari and mid-pack seem to go hand in hand here for quite a few years. And the Red Bulls sit in the back here. In the middle, rather. With Palmer and Raphael still there, but neither one of them can seem to push it just enough to get around Boyer. I believe Lucifer has probably had enough of this race. We're down to 2 laps to go here. Up Assassin. Does Optic pit? That's the question. No tires, no changes. Brilliant drive either way. I mean, at least he didn't go on dries, mediums. Teneretto. 10 laps finally on those tires after 2 stops. Ray's also ran most of this race, trying to just finish. Looks like he'll take a 6 unless something happens. Assassin here. I'm not sure exactly what his style is to make sure that he, maintains that through there, but that is pretty. It works. It's all that matters that it works. Optic now. Coming off of the back straight. Teneretto coming up through the back straight. Must be that is a lapper Villeneuve with the time penalty. Alex D04. Still right there. I mean, is he saving for something as we're down to our last lap here? Assassin take it up Phil Hill. Just nursing this thing home at this point. Optic in the pit. So we'll see how this that even makes a difference in the end. Who knows? But that's a brilliant drive to finish second without changing your tires. So Teneretto staring down a podium with Alex not being really much of a threat. Ingram in 5th. And they're fairly spaced out. Let's these two swap here. Let's go ahead and close this thing out with our current championship leader, Assassin, up to a 26-second lead. And of course, it doesn't help that Optic's tires or whatever, but a brilliant drive in the wet. The early accident was the only stray from the norm. Really shook things up early on, but everything kind of settled in. As we closed up with 10 drivers, Lucifer has retired from the race. I guess Pavlovsky's still in the pits. Who knows? As Passassin enters the final corner. And your winner of the Prospects eRacing League America's Tier 1 United States Grand Prix is Passassin. Once again, the championship leader with a brilliant drive in the wet, unscathed. From the back of the field to start the race, electing not to qualify. Optic here comes across second without a pit stop. Parks it inside the brilliant drive on ancient tires. Those things are on the rims. You can see the shards of metal just coming out of them. Tintoretto will finish on the podium. Alex did not make enough push there to get that podium spot, as he will come across fourth. Ingram with the top 5 in the Ferrari. And then Ray coasting it here on old tires. But Boyer is within a second. It's not going to be enough. Nothing gives here for these 4. Boyer actually does take 6th. Gets around Ray, who just kind of fell off there. So Boyer takes 6th. I guess that's his teammate. Maybe it helps in the standings. Palmer 9th. Villeneuve coasting around the end. And the Aston Martin for a top 10. Brilliant drive, though, from Passassin once again, who shows the dominating force he is. Disappointing day for Cameron. Once again, finds himself in the pit, in the barriers outside of the race. Don't have a replay on that. Tintoretto with a good drive as well at third, as we have our podium celebration. Assassin used to shaking champagne. Brilliant day in the wet. I believe that is our first wet weather race, at least the one I've commentated. Next week we should have a 2-man commentary team here for round 6, which I don't know where it's at yet. Anyways, brilliant drive again. Great series. Like and subscribe to our Prospects eRacing League. And we will check you out next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Do the math on where you live. Grazie.